kung may social media nun, siguro pinost ko na that very night to. Kasi all in a day's work, grabe. Hello, ako po si Luchi Cruz Valdes, 11 years a prober. At ang mapapanood nyo ngayon ay ang episode namin na pinamagatang The Corpse of Santa Maria.
Ito si Maria Juan de Basañez, itinuturing na santa sa baryo ng Kasanayan sa Pilar, Capiz. Sinasamba at dinadasalan ng marami, si Maria ay namatay mag-aanim na taon na ang nakakaraan ngayon. Ito ang kanyang bangkay.
This story was pitched by a letter sender, believe it or not. Somebody actually wrote probe a letter through Jim A, if I'm not mistaken. Tapos yun, parang sinabi niya na, gawan nyo ng storya tong, yun na nga, si Santa Maria. Kasi, ano to very rare to, di ba? Yung buong-buo pa. Kasi yun ang description niya, buong-buo pa raw. Tapos yun na nga, na sinasamba raw ng mga tao. So that's what piqued our curiosity. And true enough, talagang grabe ang response dito, no? Siguro yung pagka-Catholic ng mga Filipinos, na naniniwala sila na pagka nga hindi naagnas, siguro santa ito, santo.
They call her many names. Lola Ibe, Bebe, Maria. But most of all, they call her Santa.
You see that image? Yan ang sumalubong sa akin. Nung tinuro sa akin yung bahay, dyan po, nandyan po Santa Maria. So katok-katok ako. Wala namang sumasagot. So ang ginawa ko, sumilip ako doon sa bintana. Pagsilip ko sa bintana, yung nakita ko talaga, you can imagine my terror talaga. Ito na, siya na. But we had no time to make arte-arte talaga. Game na, shoot na, out with the camera and whatever light we had.
Sa sementeryong ito, nilibing si Maria nang siya'y mamatay noong 1929. 10 years after her death, her grave was opened to give way to another relative's body. To everyone's surprise, her body was still intact.
The composition of the body is generally dependent on what we call enzymes. Say, for instance, if you place the body in a freezer or in a refrigerator, then the decomposition is very slow.
At that time, really, parang there were, hindi pa standard yung tinatawag na SME, yung subject matter experts. Hindi pa yan standard procedure ng mga news. Pero Probe was doing that already. Yung parang, you know, when we tackle something, kumpletuhin natin. Let's make every attempt we can to understand whatever it is we're reporting, diba? If it's a phenomenon like this, let's try to understand and, you know, make a conclusion one way or the other because it helps, right?
Ayon kay Dr. Cantos, marami-rami na rin ganitong pangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. And Maria is just one of them. In fact, he says Maria may soon cease to be one of them. At her present state, Dr. Cantos predicts she won't last much longer.
I have always believed that there is a very standard story curve. You start with, well, a very good hook. And then slowly you build up a conflict. Dapat laging merong tension or conflict. In this case, Santa Maria, totoo ba yan? Totoo ba yan? That in itself is already a conflict. Lahat yan, hinahanapan namin yan. So every time we brainstormed in Probe, yun talaga lagi ang hinahanap anong conflict. There's gotta be some conflict that needs some resolution. And that's really the basic of storytelling. You talk about the conflict, you come up to a climax, and then from the climax, there's some kind of resolution. Or if you wish, you know, an ending that is unresolved. Even if it's an open-ended one, as long as you got the viewer in, you know, you're done. It's the same bell curve, as I always say. That's the way to do it if you're telling a story. No matter what the platform is, it doesn't change.